Hello and welcome back. I'm Marlise.
And I'm Elyse.
And we're the
Downton Dish.
And this week we're going to be recapping 2 episodes, beginning with episode 2. Here we go. Carson and Hughes are planning their wedding day.
Lord Grantham offers to bedazzle the servants' hall.
But Mrs. Hughes says, I don't want to be a servant on my wedding day.
Lady Mary insists that the wedding reception be held in the Great Hall.
If it's the last thing I do.
Hughes says, heaven forbid we upset the blessed Lady Mary.
She said, back off. It's my day. I get to be bridezilla.
Ain't your thing.
Mm-hmm. Word.
Mr. Finch arrives at Downton looking for the new agent.
Lady Mary says, hold on to your hats. It's me.
It's time for the local fat stock show. Got pigs?
As a matter of fact, I do. I'll have to speak to my pig farmer, Mr. Drew.
And she's taking Master George and Marigold with her.
Oh, this can't be good.
Exactly. Someone might call her Auntie.
Better than Porky.
Poor Anna tells Lady Mary that she can't carry a child to term.
But Lady Mary says, don't sweat it, sister. I know a fancy baby doctor in London.
Anna says, I couldn't possibly accept that.
She says, girlfriend, you earned it.
After all, you did hide that Dutch thingamajig.
And carried that dead naked Turk across the house in the middle of the night. Good times.
Happy
Lovely memories.
Mr. Bates sees Anna crying.
Again. He says, you're married now. You never have to cry alone again.
Unless I'm in prison or on the lam, or you're in prison, or I'm running off to Ireland.
Well, there's that.
In London, Anna puts her feet up in the stirrups.
Doctor says, no biggie. I'll just stitch you up like a Thanksgiving turkey.
You're gonna put a stitch in my what? What would a biggie be?
Piece of cake.
Ow. Mr. Molesley is helping Daisy to prep for her exams.
But Daisy's too busy worried about Mr. Mason.
She's angry at the system and rich people like the Crawleys.
But Lady Grantham might have a way to help Mr. Mason.
You have an idea, haven't you?
No, not really. Lady Edith is having trouble with her misogynist, sexist editor. What's the word?
Pig.
Exactly.
And she's miffed that Mary has taken Marigold to the Drews' farm.
And she can't tell her not to. It would look suspicious.
Oh, tell her already. It's the 20s.
Barrow knows his head is on the chopping block.
So he goes to interview for a new gig.
But it's way too complicated.
He realizes how cushy he has it at Downton.
And he is a delicate-looking fellow, after all.
Barrow just can't stop asking Andy out.
For a walk in the park.
Playing that balls and pins thing at the
Whining
big
his
show.
clock.
What?
Clock.
Oh.
But Andy isn't taking the bait.
Or is he? Marigold goes to Yew Tree Farm to see the pigs with Auntie Mary.
And she does not want to be called Auntie.
Mrs. Drew is all up in Marigold's business.
So Robert has to talk to Drew and he says,
get your wife under control.
and tend to your own kids.
All 17 of them.
Exactly. Later at the pig show, Marigold goes missing.
Mrs. Drew has pig-napped her and taken her home to her own pen.
Psycho woman.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Mr. Drew says to his wife, that'll do, Margie.
That'll do.
It's time for the Drews to leave Downton. Ebony, ebony, ebony. That's all, folks. Edith is off to London to deal with her nasty editor.
She's staring middle-age in the face, so it's okay to spend the night in her flat alone.
While there, she runs into Bertie Pelham, the agent from Bramcaster Castle.
They met at Lord Cinderby's shooting party.
And he wants to take her out for a drink.
But instead, they spend the night together.
Well, editing the magazine until 4 in the morning.
With a full staff, a pot of coffee, and a couple of sandwiches.
Could this be love for Edith? Anna's pregnant! But she doesn't want to get too excited. She's not telling Mr. Bates yet.
Barrow has another job interview, but it's with a nutty old lord in a dilapidated estate, and it's not going to work out.
And Daisy's blabbing all over the servants' hall that Lady Grantham's going to help her with Mr. Mason.
She's jumping the gun. Spratt has a nephew that's on the lam. He comes to the door looking for handouts and a place to stay.
So Sergeant Willis comes over to question Dinker and Spratt.
Dinker says nothing to Sergeant Willis. She tells Spratt she can keep a secret if she wants to.
Cora tells Mrs. Hughes that she doesn't have to have the wedding reception in the Great Hall.
Mrs. Hughes is relieved because she wants to have a bit of a hooey at her wedding bash.
Lady Mary's pissed off because she can't play wedding planner.
She's angry because Carson is cheated out of his just desserts.
Carson says, "If you attend the wedding, my dear, that's gift enough for me."
Mrs. Hughes hasn't gone shopping for a wedding dress.
So Mrs. Patmore has to order her a dress from the Sears catalog.
And when it arrives, they realize it ain't all that.
So Lady Mary offers her mother's coat as something borrowed.
But they forget to tell Cora.
Well, she did try. Couldn't get off the couch fast enough.
So Cora walks right in on the Three Musketeers trying on her furs.
What is going on here? Servants in my clothes!
Oh, my lady. Lady Mary said it would be all right to have had a bit of a hair in your closet.
Oh, don't you know what I've been through today at the cottage hospital? The most boring storyline in 6 seasons of Downton Abbey.
Well, don't let it disturb you, my lady, that I've served you selflessly for 40 years. I've nursed you through the Spanish flu. I've closed my eyes while Lord Grantham's had his tongue down the throat of one of the housemaids.
I don't care! Take off my clothes, you!
Eventually, Cora gives the coat to Mrs. Hughes as a wedding present.
She doesn't want to ruin the day. I'm getting married in the morning. Ding dong, something's going to chime.
He says that I'm his beauty. I'll do my wifely duty.
So get me to the church on time.
Woo! Mr. Carson and Mrs. Hughes are married. Woo!
At the reception at the schoolhouse.
During the toast, a surprise guest arrives.
It's Branson! Yay! And he's holding little Sibby.
He says I can stay as long as you want me to.
Apparently things didn't go that well in Hollywood.
Boston. Tears all around.
Congratulations!
Yay!
A toast to the bride and groom.
The bride and groom.
Yay! Oh, they're married.
Finally.
Wasn't that beautiful?
It was. I told you I'm going to cry at the end of every episode.
We are
this
crying
season.
at the end of every episode. All I have to hear is the music. I mean, every character, we're so invested in each character's story.
I think every time the music, the theme music, I reach for the Kleenex box.
When Branson walked through the doors, I just lost it. I
When
bawled.
little George hugs little Sibby.
And
oh
hug
my
Donk.
God.
Give Donk a kiss. Wasn't that
He
sweet?
embraces his donkness.
And Anna is pregnant.
Yes, good news.
Very good news.
Guarded.
So we hope that she's going to go off to see the fancy baby doctor now.
The hospital. This whole hospital storyline. There are zingers being thrown right and left.
The line that I love from Maggie Smith the most was when she tells Robert not to talk to Cora, and he's like, "She's my wife, I must talk to her." And she says, "Oh, I've known couples that haven't talked to each other in ages, and they're doing just
My
fine."
favorite that is appear in favor of reform is like a turkey in favor of Christmas.
Exactly.
Yeah, she has them flying. Isabel has them flying. Poor Lord Merton is ducking right
I
and
know,
left.
Lord Merton
Yeah.
still has the hots for
Isabel
Isabel.
is hoping for a thaw.
I know.
Yeah, and Dr. Clarkson is in there, maybe changing his mind.
Exactly.
Not sure.
But
So
I guess the hospital storyline is important because it just talks about the changing times. And what about the evil butler Barrow?
I feel bad for him.
I know. Again, you feel bad for him, then you hate him, and then you like him again.
Well, right now, I kind of feel bad for him. Everybody's giving him the cold shoulder. He's just trying to be friendly. We think he's just trying to be friendly with Andy, and Andy's giving him the brush off. I can wind my own clocks. Thanks very much.
So let's talk about Lady Edith. Poor Edith, no more.
Not so poor. She sends
I know.
Mr. Skinner out.
I like the way her story arc has gone. Of all the characters in Downton Abbey over the 6 seasons, I really think she's the one that had the greatest story arc.
You really see her, how she's grown up.
Yes.
She's really taken charge.
A lady of the world,
she's
I
got her
like
own
it.
flat
Good
in
on you,
London.
Edith. So that's it for this week. Thank you once again so much for watching and coming back week after week. Don't forget to subscribe to the Anglophile channel before you leave.
please follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook.
Yes, and in the coming weeks, we're going to be having some wonderful Downton Abbey giveaways, so stay tuned for that. I'm Marlise.
And I'm Elyse.
And we're the Downton Dish. I'm getting married in the morning. Ding dong, something's going to chime.
He says that I'm his beauty. I'll do my wifely duty.
So get me to the church on time.